good ways to turn up as well, right? If sort of anyone's going out, pushing out lanes on the map, BetBoom, if they charge in, you've got to be ready for Beast Coast to maybe turn up in style with the Fiendscape and the Underlords. Already start, Gojira. Gonna get going on here.
Nice.
Very nice remnant there, leveled up by Lala. So drag back Gojira. He's looking to try and get a Wood Roshan for a deny. Lala will be able to take him down and get that first blood.
You know, that's how you do it, you know, guys. Like, you see that 8th remnant? That was a nice shot there. You gotta award your mid player. Hawk saves it for him, blocks it perfectly. I love it. Even though he's the safe lane, how many safe laners would have taken that kill usually?
Exactly, yeah. BetBoom making sure that Lyle gets the boost to start things off. Going to be all very, very important, especially in this matchup. Void versus Storm could go either way. Lyle having that bit of a heads up beginning.
Up top.
Maybe the difference maker. Top, Snakeo.
Starting his 30.
Gojira's going to be able to chase him down. They're in with the avalanche. They'll get the setup. Another blast. A few more punches. Snakeo should go down. There we have it. Beast Coast.
Okay.
Still last game. It took them an ever so long time until they could get their first bit of action. This time round, Beast Coast making sure they keep up with BetBoom from the first minute.
Yeah, really cool how they do that. Now they're going to leave the Tiny up top. Now they're going to bring the Pugna bottom to support. Pugna Wraith King, very strong lane. We'll see how Notice is able to do. I haven't gotten to see the Spirit Breaker too much since all these nerfs. I think it did get played once this tournament, did lose. But yeah, we'll see what he's going to be able to do with it. It does look like he can be a bit tough. He does have a pretty decent catch, of course, versus Storm, and there was limited at this table when they had picked it out, but now with the Brood, with the Wraith Beast on an Avalanche, it might be difficult for Notice to get stuff done in the mid-game.
Without a doubt, K1 is going to have a much better time than he should. Last game. We saw how much struggle he had to endure during that laning stage against what BetBoom laned against him, so he's going to be much happier here in the start of this game too.
Still an aggressive lane, man, for this Grim and this Spirit Breaker. They can definitely look to pressure K1. If Stinger walks away at all, they can go straight onto K1. So Stinger, I think he has to stay down here pretty close to the Wraith King at all times.
I imagine we'll see them sort of try and make a move now that they've hit the level 2, or do they kind of need that third level to have the punch to go on a Wraith King?
I think BetBoom can make a lot of aggressive moves here. If he has, especially if a stun gets thrown out, he'll have a huge window to make any play. I was mentioning they just use stun bottom, and instantly after the stun gets used, they charge Inkswell on the Stinger.
We'll be able to get back underneath the tower. He'll be fine. Everyone trying to stand his ground a bit. He's got the stick charges as well, so he'll be perfectly okay.
Is this going to be that much easier for lane for him, actually? It's looking it might turn to be a pretty difficult lane. He does have the Pugna behind him, but I see Stinger actually went for Decrepify, which is a bit different. Usually you just see the Pugna ward because you counteract, you do so much damage back to all the spells that they cast. But
top playing Gojira. Snakeo finds him with his shackles.
Oh, he looks pretty...
Oh, nice. A little bit of sneaking around it from Gojira. He's going to be able to get away from the two of them. A very nice spot to stand his ground in, knowing exactly where they'd sweep up and down the tree line, and he makes it around them.
Take a look at mid. Do you see Chris having the best time of all the cores on his team?
It's a good remnant.
Laro.
T-Smart does still have the very far as we saw. He's going to be fine. Both facing in one another to get this action going.
Yeah, he's got 13 water charges, so feeling very safe for that Storm. Oh, this can catch him off guard. Snakeos are ready. Yeah, he knows. Gojira's going to scout it over. Chris maybe in a weird spot. Laro's going to build the pressure, maybe push him out, maybe even potentially kill him.
He's only got the 1-1 charge, so he's got the pullback. Oh, just needs that one last hit. He's not able to get it. So T-Smart will live. He'll have to take the walk back to base for a bit of time. Where the lane's going to be completely free for Lar to farm. Jungle, Snakeo is looking for Gojira. Oh, no mango and a toss back. Oh, that's just going to go and save his life there. Again, Gojira coming out with these cute little moves as the supports, making sure that BetBoom don't get the kills on him.
Does have to go all the way back as well, though. So now 2 lanes. Storms and the Tiny back at base. And now we see BetBoom get aggressive.
Set things up with the Inkswell, but I'm going to get him with the charge. Just himself now very, very low.
It's really interesting to see Stinger. He even puts the Nether point in the blast. 0 points in the Nether ward. As we've mentioned multiple times, the Nether ward, it deals more damage back to you than what you cast. So
try and go for Stinger now. They can get the slow, not quite get the connection onto Stinger. But he's fine. K1 still, he's suffering the most out of the cores.
He's doing better than last.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. At this point, last game he had about the 10 CS. Definitely going better for him this time round at the start.
BetBoom having a very solid 3 lanes though. Whisper. He's keeping up though. This Underlord, he's going to be the big one to watch in the mid game. So him having a good start is going to be really important for Beast Ghost. This Brute is going to be devastating. Honestly, this hit versus Void Spirit versus Spirit Breaker versus TK, it's going to be massive in some of these mid game fights.
Turning it up on the side, look at the two of them with the avalanche. The charges will be popped. Force Mage gets taken down. Good bash for Notice, secures the killer return on Stinger.
The good bash, I love it.
Same time, top lane, they tried to make a bit of a move onto Whisper once they knew that he was alone. The Shackles, he's going to step back in and they have enough damage, but you've got to be a bit careful. Whisper very hard. Oh my goodness. That was a risky one there from BetBoom, but it pays off. They get the kill and they both survive.
I was a little worried because the Hawk used the stun it while he was actually still shackled, so that was a little weird there. He's just trying to get the damage in from it, but almost ends up and loses his life. Snako high fives the tower and suicides. But he'll be back later in a moment.
Are fortified.
A quick reset, make sure that he's got that mana to play with when the Underlord turns back up the top lane around the river. Shiro did look like he wanted to interrupt the attempt from BetBoom to get the runes and be able to stop Lal from grabbing that arcane.
One of the best runes you can find early on these spirits. Really active already though. Gojira, I think he's been World Traveler. All 3 lanes in these first 6 minutes. Top again.
Gonna try and make another move on Whisper.
He's very far up.
There's going to be back up on his way over, and BetBoom, they know it. They won't continue to commit kill on Underlord. Whisper will live.
Nice lane ward. That was placed just before Snako did suicide.
See over in the mid, Lal. He tried to get in aggressively with that arcane rune onto Stinger.
Nice.
Dire structures.
I find him initially has put the wave in a position where that tier 1 is going to start to take a bit of damage with the siege creep. Top lane, East Coast, they're looking for action. Snako will be able to hold that Whisper though. Lal, he's 2 feet overboard the top to help out. Seasmar goes in with the zip, hits him onto the Shaman, takes him out. But East Coast, they lose Whisper for that attempt.
Again, losing Whisper, it's costly.
They might lose for it, Lal. Step over towards Gojira. He's going to look grab the bouncy rim, but Seasmar's in. They've got enough between the two of them to take down Lal. He's still got Dissimulate and 1 charge, so unlikely they can really commit for the kill, especially with Force Major coming across, throws out of silence, make sure that Lal's escape is covered.
It's always a little dicey for Beast Ghost, right? They're like, oh man, this could be like a spirit we could charge. You actually made it see him for a moment down, but you didn't see the Grimstroke, so have to be careful of backup, as we know. BetBoom, they play fast.
Lal. A bit of damage here with the combo. Snake also teeping over in case Chris did look to dive.
Refill the bottle as well. Carl. They've got to play around this next 8-minute power rune. Potentially all of the supports playing around mid. Notice is getting on fire. Oh, they actually get the great.
That's going to be off the mark. That's going to give Chris the opportunity to just turn and look to make a move himself. He gets it on top of Snako, takes him out. Be careful on Lal. He doesn't get back. Get the Walker. Get the avalanche off. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had astral effects and escapes, but I guess he just felt that he was further away from the tiny than he was. He gets taken down. That's a massive kill there on the mid.
2 back-to-back big mistakes there from Laurel. The Aether Remnant probably doesn't get a kill or anything like that, but missing that one and then dying. Costly. For sure. Good silence. Stun will connect.
Can't do enough damage on his own though. Chris, more than fine. Some mana to play with. Yeah, Lal's got to be careful. He's now suddenly in a position where he's at the bottom of the core net worth. And I feel like we've seen so many times with Void Spirit, if this hero starts to fall behind at the start, it's very hard to get yourself back in on the game. You've got to stay on top of the mid Void Spirit.
Especially from what we've seen this tournament, where we'll probably see Whisper get like, the Underlord build been a little different. This tournament's been like this Trans 8-toast like semi-carry, but if they go pipe and they have Pug Nether Ward, look at Void Spirit, what's he gonna do when they have all this type of magic resistance and negation? It's going to be problematic. Pugna already versus Void Spirit is going to cause problems later on.
We'll see this again. Lal, indeed, you know, he had the step up all the time, but Gojira just walks up, avalanche on him. I mean, he had full vision as well. There was a ward down, so he saw Gojira coming in from a mile off. Just felt a little too
Fight one though, and they did proc that ulti before bottom when we were watching the fight mid. Did he notice he was able to kill the Wraith the first time, so we are able to sneak in and get a big kill. Notice is really farmed, by the way, also. The phase boost plus the Blitz Knuckles. Kind of a pretty early Shadow Blade up on him. Even start though. 65, less than 1k lead for East Coast. And looks like we potentially have a tower trade going on.
I think maybe find Sting up.
Dire's top
Be
tower
fine
has
here.
fallen.
They get level 6, 3 points in blast even.
Is under attack.
Can they TP over and look to defend this? I think they'll just let it go.
How's our HP pools? I don't think they're gonna set up for the defense. Storm no TP. I need no TP. No, I think we go.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Stinger says to hide.
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
Catch that. Low level supports on the side of BetBoom though.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Level 5 on
fallen.
Force Major, and they are instant on top. Whisper comes down here.
Send it down to see if they can maybe get something out of this one. You see Smart from the side, looking to zip it, and he's going to go for it.
Into the Aether Remnant.
And he should still be able to continue on his way over towards the Grim. Force Major taken out. So East Coast, they may lose a tower, but they get a kill from this. See over in the mid, Gajira. A bit of a quick toss combo on to Notice. K1 will start to step up, but the rest of East Coast stats down bottom. So Notice will be fine. One component now away from the Shadow Blade for the offlane Spirit Breaker.
Let him an early one.
They're going to smoke again. You see Chris getting very, very active here as the Storm. 2-0-2 so far. He's had a great start.
I think BetBoom might get aggressive themselves. They see Whisper bottom, and he may be tanky, but not versus these three.
Now he's pretty far away from any sort of backup.
He looks very dead.
Now the question is what Beast Coast can do at the same time. They're in on towards the Neko. Not quite as big of a kill as that the BetBoom bind against Whisper.
Maybe they can set up for some pressure on the mid lane. I was mentioning Stinger's build in this game. We usually don't see this on the support partners where they're maxing out the blast, but he does have the 3 points right now. He'll get spotted. No, there's some sort of vision in the area, but he's aware of where it is next time. The D ward.
K1, the armlet done, and the fact that his ult's back up. Go back to farming these sort of greedier positions around the mid. It's much less appealing of a target now for BetBoom to try and commit for.
Yeah, he's keeping up. He's only a little bit behind that CK, which is pretty huge. I mean, 0-1-1, and when you look at the hockey's part of stuff, it's 3 kills. So the fact that the Wraith is only 700 behind is pretty big. Next Stinger will find that D ward. And now we'll start putting more points into his Nether ward.
Smoke's on from BetBoom. Lar going to make a move with Seneko. And sort of waiting to see if Chris shows on the top lane for the creep. Seneko ready to set up.
Oh, he showed himself.
I think he saw him on the creeps, right? And a little bit of a movement. Chris sees all he needs to see, and he's out of there.
In a split second of vision. He was dead for sure there. Great tower. Look at Stinger. He's just blasting the tower from the sidelines this time, though. He'll get punished for it.
A fair bit of damage done, though.
Yeah, I think he got like 3, 4, 5 blasts even.
Are scanning.
And of course, on their side of the river, their tower actually kind of in a similar situation. Even a half HP, but BetBoom with their line of this time round, much more about going for the kills rather than the early tower pushes.
When are they going to go for the push with Seneko? Right now they have the massive rewards, TP's mid.
Oh yeah, he's got the 6, yeah.
They want to turn it into a kill and a tower. So looking for the kill on Chris Luck.
Gonna try for this, Chris. With the reaction, quick to the side, but he still gets caught at the start from that charge. Out the E12. We'll see East Coast try and get some kills in return. They turn over what's left. It's told by Force Major out. They should have with that silence. He's gonna have space to get out the side. Stinger trying to stop the light train on Snake, but the charge is there. They'll look at the burn. Through the 2 of them, they take down K1 the one. Spins back for round 2. Lard. Still much mana to play with. A great step across into the 3-man H12 setup there. Force Major has to be careful. He wants to step away to hack. Staying on top of Whisper. Another charge from Notice over towards K1 Lard. On the retreat. He'll get out of there. He's thinking about maybe jumping back over. Gajira close to the tower. Gajira, he can get in range for an avalanche. He could try for this. There's going to be a big zip from Chris. He plays his chance to try and close on Lol. He's going to be able to do it.
He gets him.
Commits his entire mana pool there to hunt for Lal, and it's a roaring success there. Gets him with the setup, and that's all they needed to finish Lal off.
I think that's actually exactly what turns the tides of the change. I think maybe it was like still slightly BetBoom favored out of all of it, but now they get a deity rune, and they're going to get the pressure afterwards. Big jump there from Chris.
Yeah, because it's very hard to avoid this sort of initiation.
Yep. I don't think they expected the Shadow Blade this early. I think that really did catch him off guard at the speed that he was able to connect. He knows he made that misplay. Through the Spirit Breaker, he just didn't. Away from him.
Initial charge, it was rather hard for BetBoom to really get the next kill right.
It was very close.
Second line.
Like, everybody almost died. Like, the Hawk was also man fighting versus Whisper, down to like 10%. It was very close to it being maybe a disaster for them.
BetBoom's going to keep it going. Back out with the smoke. They've got the rising Giro turn with the avalanche. That's going to be the charge. Inkswell put to a stop, so he'll be able to get himself back on the tower. The spread man move from BetBoom. Won't get anything towards the bottom. Still a couple of them smoked up. They could try and look towards the mid. I would say still just look to deal with the creeps. Try and keep this tower alive as long as they can.
Their lineup is all about that fast-paced aggression this time around on BetBoom. They do not want to slow down, let the Wraith King just sit back and farm. This Grim with the Spirit Breaker, I'd imagine they're kind of paired together for the rest of the game. And we have hit 15 minutes.
That's an Echo. He's just going to slam it down here on the mid lane. Get this tier 1 taken out.
Radiant's middle tower.
Gets denied though. All right.
He's going to be able to farm up some of these wards as well.
Deny him.
Deny.
Chris though. They find him.
A big find there. Maybe feeling a little too safe underneath the observer ward they had deep in the jungle of BetBoom.
It is a very killer combo. Like I said, they're going to be paired together the entirety of the rest of this game.
They're going to try and go for more now. They've taken out the storm. They'll see if they can find a chance to set up for another. They certainly can. Stinger taken down in a couple of hits here from Dahak.
The Grimstroke shard online is going to make it very easy for the Spirit Breaker to just come into the fights most of the time. They do have a blink on. They actually have a blink on Gojira. He's been farming very well, but
should be dead here.
Will die.
Dire's bottom tower.
Gojira, no escape for him. Gonna get a few bashes in as well. There we go. They'll charge over. Gojira will go down. One of the things that could maybe play. Oh, unless he could juke this.
No, he's dead.
He's very dead. They will find him. But that does mean that maybe when he respawns, they might not have expected that he just got the Blink Dagger finish. So the Blink reveal from Gojira could be pretty big when it comes back into action in 20 seconds.
It's pretty early, and with the Arcane boots, they probably think he's poor.
And when you just killed him.
Yeah, it's pretty big how fast he's able to have it. And they're going to have Chris Luck with his BKB soon. Deso on K1.
They hit hard.
Still very close, even early game.
We'll regain some of their vision around this area there, half of the map, East Coast.
Dire's top tower.
Whisper also opting for the BKB, so he can get really stuck in on the fight. Make sure that he's able to continuously lock someone down, and we've seen a few times now that little things like the Silence of the Phantom Embrace now slows down Whisper's availability of locking down the heroes like the Void Spirit that is jumping all across the fight.
He's supposed to have a timing here for sure. BKB with that Atos also. I think they can look for some type of casual fights here. With the blink on Tiny too. Now they have a better form of initiation. Mid tower is low too, Stinger. Got the max blast. One more will take it away.
Under attack.
Oh, just wants it though for
Dire's
himself.
structures are
It doesn't look like BetBoom are too interested in taking a fight around this area.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Well, 1,400 gold away from the Aghanims. It will, of course, come at a time where the BKBs are in play. They'll get the jump in on the mid. And see if they can get him out of it. Oh, Chris! Oh my goodness! He's put the BKB, but these leaves go bound together here. He gets taken down. Chris dying there despite the BKB. That leash leaving him no opportunity to run.
And now do they have Shaman Wards? They can go for Roche.
They're going to go straight for it.
Chris.
Oh, they might.
A big
They
mistake.
can actually go in with the charge towards K1. We'll see if they commit with this. Notice. Nice. He's going to hold back. He's more than happy to see the rest of his team head into the pit, drop down the ward. 2 heroes down on Beast Coast. They still have the rest of the lineup around. Guarded as well. We'll see if these 3 can get in to slow this down.
Might have to just go for a steal play. I think it's eyes on Gojira. Can he make the jump?
Is he going to get there in time?
Roshan has fallen.
It's already gone. He'll jump in. But the Roshan's been taken down. The Aegis picked up by Lal. Now BetBoom can turn for a kill onto the Tiny by the looks of it. Let's get one actually.
Oh.
Okay. The Aegis was picked up and immediately taken away there. As K1's able to come up with the damage. The roof is there on the respawn.
He's dead.
Avalanche, Gojira gets back in. They take Lal down a second time. The control from Beast Coast heroes. These roots. Meaning that once you get that opener onto the Void Spirit, onto Lal, he hasn't got any other options left to escape.
He has to be a lot more careful. As we said, that root is going to trip them up constantly in this game. All 3 of their cores have to be very careful playing into it.
And not something that he's necessarily going to have much protection from. Of course, wanting to go for this Aghanims, the aggressive build, I mean that he's not going to have the quickest of timing on any sort of item that will be able to save himself from that lockdown.
And K1 is probably so happy because now he has 4 stacks of Deso because of that.
And that double benefit. And well on the way towards the BKB. These, as I say, these BKBs from Beast Coast are going to make it very difficult for BetBoom to get these kills. You know, we've seen already, and for Lyle, 5-3-5, it's not a bad KDA, but it's getting closer and closer to the point of the game where Burst and the Void Spirit, Beast Coast aren't going to care.
Great, especially when they're going to be getting toward a Wraith Pact very soon on Stinger. Max Nether Ward plus Wraith Pact, like Void Spirit's damage goes pretty low.
He's still there at the top level with the farm K1, of course. BKB and going back to finish off his Echo Saber once more. He'll still be very, very strong. And as we saw last time, if Chris himself gets caught out before that BKB or even after, he still get affected by the leash. The physical from Dahak will tear him apart.
Hot just has to be careful of Whisper. That's kind of like the biggest thing. Everybody else he can deal with quite easily as this DK, but it's just the Firestorm and the pick combo that will be tripping up in most situations.
A close game on the numbers though. 12 to 15. 1k lead at the moment for Beast Coast. They absolutely swing either way in a team fight. Beast Coast, they're going to look for it. Smoke up for the mid.
Chris just has to be the most careful, right? He's just the one that has to watch out for the leash. The rest of his team has been able to deal with all that really well.
They want to try and come in for notice. They will. They'll get him in the root. Toss back with the avalanche. It's going to be a dead Spirit Breaker.
They want more.
It's going to be underneath the tier 2 though. If they look to dive this. Vajira. Blink again in a second. TP out for Force Break. It's going to be put to a stop. Vajira steps in, catches it with the stun. Another kill for Beast Coast with a creep wave in a great position. They'll now be able to look towards taking this tier 2 tower down. And with 2 dead on BetBoom, it'll be pretty hard for them to pull together a defense.
They should be able to take this tower out for sure. They look for the trade down bottom. So go for trade. They do not kill nearly at the same pace. Hector is considering going a little bit more, maybe just like killing off the Rift Wave. If they can hit this a bit more, they have a catapult.
I mean, they're going to have the full BKB coming out for K1. With the reincarnation, we'll see that maybe first very quickly. Indeed it does. Presents himself on the high ground and Lyle taking his first life very, very easily.
The pit's down though. They can't commit past it.
They can't charge through.
Now, okay, Wraith King ult is down. I think BetBoom, they back up, clear this wave out, look for a smoke, catch the Wraith King. But Beast Coast, I'd imagine they're going to be ready for this play.
See what they go for next. Beast Coast.
Wait, okay, they did use smoke. It's spotted though. I think it was they still saw inside the base. Beast Coast should be very aware that the smoke comes out. So Hector, I feel like he just has to play in a very defensive position right now. Have Whisper in a position to just body for him. Because Whisper, he shouldn't die. He should be able to get his BKB off in most of the situations.
Beast Coast pulling back, fully defensive. In preparation for this sweep across the map from BetBoom. See, notice
it's an illusion.
There's a full move revealed. Beast Coast not going to get caught out by this one bit.
Good move from Beast Coast in this game. 3k gold lead, Stinger even pressuring top. It might pay with his life. Very likely dead.
And they'll catch him. And obviously, the Beast Coast, at least with their warriors in terms of heroes they could lose to BetBoom, especially when it was pretty much BetBoom moving around the map as a full 5 map. So a lot of time and space there where Beast Coast carries and Thors are going to be very happy elsewhere.
Yeah, he's just shuffling the lane. I mean, this is what he's kind of playing the 4 position a little bit more now as Pugnos. He kind of has got his blink dagger, so he can do these types of plays and doesn't get too much for BetBoom as Wraith King's ult back up in 20 seconds. K1 will be a lot safer now.
Yeah, they definitely could look to go again then. Good progress towards that blink dagger, making sure he as well has chances to get in and whatever his teammates find the jump upon. Whether Chris gets that initiation, he'll be there to back up. Here we go. Time. As soon as the reincarnation's ready to go back up, they want to get K1 involved in the action. They know how strong he is right now as the Wraith King.
Neko looks like he might just drop towards top as well too, force him move up toward him. So see what Beast Coast looks to punish.
He can catch the hack.
Hard to play.
They're going to be able to touch back. Indeed, the Grim over towards the hack. So as Force Major gone to hack, popping the BKB. He's going to opt for the TP out. He doesn't want to try and take this fight. He'll escape this.
Tower is under attack.
Tower will go down. No deny this time around.
Yeah, BetBoom trying to do their best to find these objectives around Beast Coast. Their willingness to hunt for action. No assist. I mean, yeah, pretty...
It's the BKB, he needs it.
Yeah,
He can't go through the root. Until he has that, he cannot really charge through the root almost ever. But any of these fights, it's going to be really difficult to rectify it. Laurel, same thing. BKB queued up.
I've got to get him on these calls.
Yeah, he's getting close.
Does mean the Beast Coast, they'll have the space here to take down some tier 2s. Bottom tower taken out, BetBoom. No interest of turning up until those BKBs are done.
Okay, so Gojira is actually the one holding on to the Philosopher's Stone. I thought he passed it over to the Pugna, but Stinger, he already has his Wraith pack gun, so maybe that's all he wants. So I mean, Force Staff's going to be super valuable for either of these supports. And the opponent on the other side, BetBoom, they also have a Philosopher's Stone. Always have to point this out for some of these 4 positions to continue scaling as Whisper should be fine.
Yeah, not much that Notice can do on his own up here. He will reveal himself. Should be fine, you know, at the edge of the range that Whisper would have potentially had with an Atos.
And again, BetBoom, I've seen them do this so many times in these last few weeks. Buying the gem, even though they're not in any advantage, they still just pick it up just really wanted to get that vision lead somehow. I like it. I've been seeing this more and more. Notice.
It's going to be found by K1, but charges at the ready. He'll head straight back over to the safety top. Oh, Chris
got him.
Oh, okay. All right, he's used a lot of his mana, so he doesn't have much left to finish off the kill. Let's see if indeed the backup's coming in, so Chris won't be able to commit for that, but a very nice attempt there from Chris, catching him mid-charge.
He looked pretty. And he's got a rune coming up in 2 seconds too, so he'll find a regen. He'll be rewarded for it.
Boom, lol. 600 left on his BKB. We'll see it again here. Chris, master of the angles that he needs to hit there. Swinging past and making sure he grabs him during that bull lightning circuit. There's no chance of being knocked back by the charge.
Find out Roche in about 10 seconds. And full Lincoln's now on Chris, and he has the regen rune as we mentioned before. So they should be able to have a presence on the map when that Roche does respawn shortly. It's the timer. It's a long one.
Now would be a good time to go. I mean, Lal, he's in a very, very safe position. In fact, that is the BKB done. So that window where maybe BetBoom would have been very vulnerable to the initiation of heroes like the Storm Spirit, it is gone now. BKB's BetBoom should always stand a chance of turning and standing strong in the fight.
dota2 right now. Triple BKB cores at the ready on both sides. So both teams definitely are keen to fight. Just depends on the location of where it will be and who gets the jump first. I was mentioning earlier about these Philosopher's Stones, as we just pointed out, Force Major there. He's halfway toward an Aghanims on the Grimstroke, a really impactful one versus the Wraith King too, if they're able to get it.
We'll see here.
Gets cancelled.
He's going to get gone at the point. He can get the nether ward down, won't be able to protect himself. He's going to go to the back line. Big zip straight over towards the Shaman, takes out Seneko. He's now going to look towards the second support, see if we can take out Force Major. The man is very low. Good hit onto the 3 of them. Will lock them down. K1 stepping forward. Will get him with the stun onto Force Major. Big hit here from the Wraith King. Takes out the Grimstroke. Because Beast Coast, they'll get the 2 of them. See if they can get more from this. Chris, zip over towards Lal. Won't be able to pull him back in time. Lal's out to dissimulate. Christian, that last bit of mana to try and keep eyes on Lal. Lal should be fine here. Still has another dissimulate and a step. He's in fact just going to be able to go for the straight TP out. No, they've got no further way to close the gap there. Beast Coast, but just lose 1 support. I'll take the 2 of them from BetBoom on that.
They're getting pretty huge. K1 is massive this game. 17,500 net worth. He's got the AC too. So you're has the counter versus the Hawk.
Absolutely, and he's getting those Death stacks. He's building that damage up nicely.
I think Beast Coast is really feeling how strong they are. I think BetBoom is going to struggle to fight in these next situations. You're already starting to see that damage fall off pretty hard. They catch the Pugna alone, but it still took him a little bit to kill him. It's time for Chris Luck to go in, and yeah, Roche, 30 seconds.
30 seconds, I guess, well, pretty much all the BKBs will be ready to pop once more, so we'll see both teams for sure turn up.
I think the Hawk is trying to get that level 20 pretty badly. Once he gets that, then we'll see that Reality Rift pierces spell immunity. It's easier for him to commit on a target. But before that, I don't see BetBoom being able to fight very well into Beast Coast. It feels very difficult into all these auras. Roche, it is already in the pit and ready.
BetBoom gets set up around the mid-tier 2 with the smoke. They're ready to go straight over. Beast Coast, they'll do it quick. They'll quick enough that it'll be done before BetBoom's able to have a say about it.
Not quite 20 on the Hawk, so he does not have the pull yet.
The side lob. They try and make a jump over towards Kashira. That's the reveal there of BetBoom's and first move.
The Roche is dead.
Beast Coast don't we have a continue on this. So Gajira making space outside of the pit as they go for him. Means that Beast Coast have all the space to get that Aegis securely into the hands of Chris.
It's similar to like the last game. If Beast Coast is set up for a fight, if BetBoom can't walk into it, the Pugna Ward is down, the Wraith Pact is down, and all these different auras as we're mentioning, they just have so many, the AC, the Vlads, the Atrophy aura in general that they've got.
Charge over towards Gajira. And he does reveal his position and go for the outpost, but he's got backup. K1's going to charge straight away in on towards Lava. The BK goes around. Gajira goes down. Pull back K1. Still got the reincarnation. Turner was noticed. Wanting to control K1. Gets it back with the ultimate. Knocks it over towards the remnant. But a buyback is there from the Tiny. Chris commits straight over again. Catching the support. Onto the backlines. He's on the top of Snako. So Snako will go down. Himself and Force Major taken out of the team fight.
They're trying to chase to get some type of big kills, but they just can't in any of these situations. Beast Coast up to a 7k gold lead. It's feeling a lot easier for them to kind of do anything on the map. The K1 is massive, never has any fear of dying. And yeah, just it is so many different auras that they do have. And I'm looking at BetBoom, they have no auras at all. You're playing versus like Vlads, the Nether Ward, the Wraith Pact, you're playing versus Atrophy aura, there's so many different elements. You have to do 2 to 3 times more damage on the side of BetBoom than the Beast Coast does to kill anybody in most of these fights.
And we saw here, you know, they go completely in onto the Tiny, they kill him off, but at that point, they've just got nothing left in the tank to take down anybody else on Beast Coast.
You have to expend so much.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And the fights, especially when they're the full 5-on-5, proving to be very, very tough for BetBoom at this moment in the game.
Chris, take the Lincolns, get the stun.
Okay, that's the Aegis gone. As the Beast gets set up, his backup's ready to turn up. They have the root control onto the hack.
He's just gone.
So, Chris more than happy to lose the Aegis in that sort of scenario.
Dire's middle tower is under
Top lane, Gajira, he's not going to be able to do much more than that. He's just on his own.
They're going to
His own as well.
They're going to push mid. 60 seconds.
I mean, there's no buyback with the Hakiba.
The Underlord too, he's hitting hard. Oh yeah, 40 bonus damage still on Whisper.
With the AC and the Desert taking onto account for K1, these buildings are going to fall pretty quickly.
You see the Hawk there, I think he knows the game is getting pretty out of hand pretty fast. They've got the Grimstroke axe.
Let's see what they can do here with the 4 of them. Charging over towards K1, but how much they really want to commit in on to killing this Wraith King. They burst him low, and they finish him off. Not quite. K1's going to be able to protect that reincarnation. Couldn't quite take him out. He'll start healing up as well off the creeps.
They don't even get him the once.
They get what they came for, the mid-racks taken out. Beast Coast able to get the objective, retreat, and with no losses on their side. 13k up. They're doing very, very well now in this position, and K1 looking to be in prime position to carry this game.
Starting to feel almost like smooth sailing. These fights are so impossible for BetBoom to kill anybody. I don't know how they kill these tanky cores.
Tier 2's of course already taken this game by Beast Coast. Any chance they get to push a lane out, BetBoom almost certainly going to lose further areas of the base. Black's now turn on the Chris. I mean, we've seen already how great of a zip forward that he's had to start multiple team fights, getting straight on top of the supports each and every time. Made it almost possible for Snake and Force Major to play the game.
Yeah, now they have like these beautiful symphony of spells that they can combo up with the Vortex into a pit, into Cleave from the Wraith King as he has that 20 talent too. I'm feeling super hard, honestly. The Hawk, I feel like he can't even walk out to farm very well now either. The constant threat of this Tiny, the constant threat of the Storm too. Even just the element of Fiendscape being able to jump on top of them. And throwing another aura into the mix too. The Underlord now has a Shiva, so already seeing the damages from before. For BetBoom now, it just feels like they're never going to be able to kill almost anybody. Maybe the supports, but the core is definitely not.
BetBoom stepping out.
Let's see. Can they find anybody isolated?
So hard to commit though. They know that Beast Coast are very, very close to one another.
And I don't think you can kill the Wraith King.
Do you really want to go on K1? I don't think so.
These guys, overwhelming blink coming out of the courier too. They do have the Dark Portrait for a second though, but K1 quickly brings it down. Now,
K1 still wants to go. He's going to go in onto Force Major. The Glimmer will separate Force Major from the Wraith King for now. K1 got pretty deep. The wards are down. Hates to set up. The rest of the Beast Coast are taking over his grip. Straight over towards Grimstroke. Takes out Force Major. Over towards the Nako. We'll see the root control in. Locking down to Hack. The Hack tries to bring down K1 just the one. Will manage to do so, but now the rest of the BKB has to run. The BKB is going to come to an end. Stotus is like triple kill for Chris. As BetBoom again chance against Beast Coast at this point of the game.
It's over for sure. 17,000 gold lead. CK dead. Void Spirit dead. They might just be able to hit tier 4s. They're pinging it. They're thinking about it. But yeah,
They don't have the buybacks on the cause. Very little that BetBoom can do. They might try and stall it out to see if they can get one more fight up in a minute. Beast Coast, I don't think they're going to give them the chance because you're already on to notice. Ready to look for the jump on the Spirit Breaker. He's teasing with them, trying to keep the focus away from the buildings, but they'll kill him very easily. A toss back towards K1, he gets taken down. See a buyback come out here from Notice. Still 40 seconds they need to find until they'll have the full team back up there. Boom. The Beast Coast cleaning up another set of barracks. And Mega Creeps are out. Beast Coast, they'll keep the pressure on. They're ready to look to close this one up. Over to the side, you get the toss back onto the two of them. The Avalanche as well. Vortex onto the three, and then Prince dragging them in. And they'll step forward, take down Salego, take down Notice.